Buster's obviously back with another home game on Saturday up against Southport, just coming off the back of a home game against Brackley at the weekend. How's everyone's mood after that draw?
Yeah, obviously it was a disappointing way to finish the game. You're leading 2-0 with 4 minutes to go. I know Mike done his interview, and you'd expect to win the game from there. And it was a tough one for us to swallow, having played so well for so long in the game. And then ultimately, they've got a lot of balls in the box, a lot of set pieces, and we've dealt with a lot of it really well. And then we've managed to sort of let 2 late goals go in. So it felt like a defeat. It felt like a really bad defeat, to be honest. So that's up to us to make sure that everyone responds and comes back in a good place, and just really making sure that we're ready for Saturday. That's all that's important. Now that's gone, it's important that we learn from it. So the last 2 days we've spoke about it. We spoke about what maybe we could have done better to sort of stop the ball coming in at source and different things like that. So that's going to be a massive learning curve for us, and it's something that we're going to try really hard to make sure that it doesn't happen again, and hopefully it'll be a little springboard for us to put a run together.
You were, of course, supposed to have another game in midweek against York before that one got postponed, so you've got a bit more recovery time than you have had in past weeks and than you will have in weeks coming up. How important is that for you at the minute?
Yeah, it was good. It gave us a full week's training, because obviously yesterday would have been recovery, then today would have had the game. So the fact is now we've got 4 solid days of training to be able to get into lads who maybe haven't had minutes that they need, to make sure everyone's getting up to sort of match fitness, to go through some work that we wanted to go through anyways on different phases, different departments that we want to look at and stuff, in different formations and things. So it's been a good 2 days for us, and we've got another 2 days to get some good training in the lads, and it puts us in good stead for Saturday.
Obviously you've got a bit of a sizable squad, more than usual at the minute. You've got not too many injuries, so a lot of the lads contended for places. Is the team selection not necessarily set in stone until a bit later in the week and lads have got a chance to sort of fight for their place in training, so to speak?
Yeah, obviously lads who aren't getting the squad, it's a difficult one. We had the conversation last week. It's a difficult one for them to take, but you look to see what type of character they are and see how they're going to respond to things, and that's on the training field and off the training field as well, to be fair. But you have to come in, you have to work hard, and you should do that just out of respect for yourself, really. You should come in and want to be the fittest that you can be and train the best you can be, so you are in sort of Mike's mind for team selection Saturday. And also it's just respecting everyone around you, so respecting Mike, myself, Chris, and all the other players as well. Like you come in, you work just as hard as everyone else is, and then if you do have a good week's training, then you're forcing your way into the team, and like, for example, Jed trained unbelievable sort of last week, and then obviously you look at him and think, well, we need to put him in because he's training that well. So that's a really good example that other lads should be taking. It should be looking at what happened with Jed and think, well, if I work hard and I train hard, then I'm going to get in the team. I think the easy mentality for players to do is just say, oh, well, I'm not going to get in, so I'm not going to train hard, it's just going to set you back. You have to come in and you have to work hard. That's the basis of us, really.
And up to Southport, of course, coming here on Saturday. They're sort of up there in the league table at the minute, although obviously teams have all kind of played a different number of games so far, so it's maybe not quite taken shape, truthfully, so far. But what kind of game you're expecting from them on Saturday?
Yeah, Southport, they've got some really good players. They've got some really experienced players in the league. From what I've watched, they're quite direct. I watched them against Spennymoor on Saturday. First half, Spenny were the better side. Second half, Southport came out. They made a couple of changes. The substitutes did make a big difference. And to be honest, obviously they had a penalty saved against Spennymoor. If that penalty goes in and then the pressure's building, sometimes the result doesn't sort of tell a story about the full game. But I mean, obviously Spenny have got the result, they've deserved that. So Southport will be looking to push on from the second half performance, really. So we're expecting a team who's hungry to get in the playoffs and get automatic promotion, just like we are. So again, there's no easy games in this league. Every week's a tough game. So we're expecting a really hungry, physical, tough side coming here on Saturday.
In terms of just the squad's overall fitness at the minute, of course, you mentioned last week that Elliot Forbes and Mike and Dan Ward had some minor injury problems. How are them and the rest of the lads looking at the minute?
Obviously they're a little bit further on, so Dan Ward and Elliot, Chris is hopeful that they'll be able to get back into training on Monday, so Saturday is going to come too soon for them. Mike is still having problems with his calf, so we just need to keep assessing that and keep looking at it. A few of the lads picked up a couple of niggles on Saturday, so Griffey was struggling with his back a little bit. He got a knock on his back. Jordan's hamstrings tightened up a little bit. So just little things, but they should be fine for Saturday. They should be fine to come back in train on Thursday. But other than that, everyone's fitting well, and we've got a good squad to pick from, and we've got a lot of hungry players who want to get in the side, which is exactly what we want.